In real estate, all you need to do is plug in, get on the conveyor belt, right? Let us show you how to do it. If you're either one of three people, someone who's thinking of maybe getting into real estate, you need the gold rush. If you're new to the real estate, you need the gold rush. If you're trying to get over the hump and trying to figure out how do I go from 3 million to 10 million a year? How do I become a producer? Or how do I want to grow a team? That's 4. You need the gold rush, because we're going to teach you how to do that. Our program lays that foundation. The program and the modules and the file vault alone, that right there will change your career, the trajectory, and your life. No question, hands down.
What it is, Brad, back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs. Today in the studio, folks, as always, got a real treat for you. Lee Goldberg in the house.
What's going on, Brad?
Dude, appreciate you being here. If you guys don't know this dude, at Goldberg the Realtor. Now, when he says realtor, makes you think like you just sell homes, but you do a little more than just that.
Yeah. I've been in the business 15 years. Selling homes is something, that I've done a lot of. But then there became a time in my career where I said, I want to do more. I want to help people, right? And then we created our training program. And so I like to think of myself as a coach and trainer for realtors, help build in their brand, build in their business, and avoid the mistakes that I made early in my career.
You're part of a show on TLC. You got the #1 real estate group at Coldwell Banker. You can find the Gold Rush group of realtors in Orlando, Port Lucie, Charlotte, Las Vegas, on and on.
Kansas City.
Yeah, but what I brought you on for is because, as we all know, the real estate market right now is getting in a little bit of heat. I know a bunch of realtors and real estate flippers and all kinds of real estate industry, not just people that sell the homes, but, what's going on with the market and what should people be watching out for?
For me, Q4 has always been my hottest quarter throughout my career consistently. And this year it started early. In October. And what I'm seeing is more people are still moving in the migration city. So I can't talk about Detroit. I can't talk about Milwaukee, but I know that people are still coming to Vegas. I know people are still coming to Charlotte. Everyone is still coming to Florida. Home prices are not really going down. The only home prices that are going down are home prices that were too high to begin with. There's still a lack of inventory. I just put 2 new homes on the market in Florida, one with a pool. It should be gone, within a week, if not this weekend. So we'll see. If it takes an elongated time with a pool, then we know maybe things have cooled off. But, a lot of people are like, the interest rates, right? The interest rates are a little bit higher, above slightly higher before pre-pandemic. They were in the 5s, they were in the 6s. That 2.99, 3.5, that was fantasy land. That's not going to happen again. So,
Ever?
Well, maybe at some point, but anytime in the near future to drop, 4 points like that, probably not. It could go up, it could go down. But if the prices of the homes are not, and the rent is, and if you don't own a home, then you need to be purchasing a home, and maybe even a new construction home right now, because that's coming back out of the ground right now. But I think the most important thing for anyone they just need to get educated. That's the most #1 important thing for any person who is either renting or thinking of buying another home or selling. Go talk to someone, get educated, because there's so many myths and non-truths that are out there in the media right now. It's not real world. Plus, it's usually 30 to 60 days old.
Well, I know I got a lot of realtors that follow me.
Yeah.
Listen to the show. So I wanted to bring you on, maybe give them some sort of knowledge that would get them through the tough time that's supposedly out there. I always say, dude, it's all perspective, but you got a lot of realtors freaking out. So your Gold Rush virtual training program, you've made a lot of people a lot of money in that. So what is it that we can drop today while you're here? Like, let's give them a little love out of that training system.
Yeah. The #1 thing that for our realtors to have success, and I feel for any realtor to have success, you have to know exactly what you're doing, right? You have to have a playbook. My background is I was a TV sportscaster before I got into real estate. Bounced all around the country. That's how I got to Orlando. That's my partner who got me into real estate. He was in television as well. And when I would cover Super Bowl teams and I would go to training camp, say the Bucs with John Gruden in 2002, I noticed a few things, that every minute of the day was scheduled for practice. They knew exactly what they were doing, when they were doing it, where their breaks were, where their holes in time, where they could see their families. They mixed it around. I also knew that the first 16 plays of an NFL game are scripted as well. So if you don't know as a realtor what you're doing and where you're going, how are you going to get into the end zone? You're not going to get there. So you got to time block it. You got to goal set it. You have to know precisely what are going to be the spokes of success in the wheel. How do you get down the road? You got to have wheels. If you don't have rims, you don't have spokes, you can't move anywhere. So for us, it's identifying a few spokes, 5 or 6 of disciplines and things you should be doing every single day, every single week, with goals, with metrics, because numbers don't lie. What lies? Dogs and people. That's it. Dogs and people lie. Numbers and metrics do not lie.
How does a dog lie? You mean lies down?
It lies down. Yeah.
I got you.
Dad joke.
Clever. So what are those spokes? Like if I'm a realtor listening to this, I'd be like, okay, you just said a lot of nothing. I agree. Like, give me some freaking tangible shit I could do right now that would start freaking getting me towards that sale.
First, look at your schedule, right? Figure out where's your availability to work in real estate. Okay, maybe you have another job. Maybe you're driving an Uber. Maybe
are a lot of them doing that.
A lot of people are.
Well, because they need money, bro, and the houses aren't selling according to the guys I'm talking to.
Well, again, what price point are those homes?
Well, I don't know. I don't get into it because I'm not a realtor, but I just hear them bitching and complaining. And of course, I always give them the fluffy shit. Like, come on, dude, don't focus on that. You know, manage your time. But I don't know what to manage. I don't know what to tell them to do. Yeah. Okay, great. I'll manage my time. I'm getting rid of all my dead space. What do I do, Lee?
Here's what it is right now. You got time block specific. Take 90-minute increments, right? You know what you're going to do. So number 1, work it backwards. You should be setting up your open house Tuesday of the week. Go find that open house. Oh, I don't have a listing. What do I do? Cool. Start calling every realtor that's in your office with a listing and go find that listing. And then if there's not one in that office, you got to go find another office. Number 2, start calling the other agents that you might know through social media.
Why would you go to their listing?
Because a lot of agents don't want to do open houses in their listings. And
why?
The idea,
that's how you sell them, isn't it?
Well, not exactly. That's where you pick up other business. The point of doing the open house is to pick up other buyers and other sellers. Now, it's not just doing the open house, but it's what are you doing around the open house. A lot of people who door knock, hey, I got an open house, come on by. Not bad to do, but that's low-hanging fruit. How do you advance that story?
Open house is where you basically go look at the house for sale.
Yeah, people come in between 1 and 4 on a Saturday. I know that when people come in without a realtor, I'm going to convert them to be my buyer, not necessarily for that home, hopefully for that home. But if not, I'm going to go find them another home. And I'm most likely going to get them approved with my lender as well. So now he can be working them on the other side. So you got to have partners in this business. If you don't have a lender, you don't have a title person that can help you go hunt, you must go find that immediately. So when you identify the home that you're going to do for your open house, and by the way, we have a module, which is one of my best modules, is our open house module on the Gold Rush. And it's doing it differently. For example, we teach linguistics, psychology, right? Do things different. If everyone's zigging, Brad, I'm zagging. And that comes from being a sportscaster in locker rooms and Bucks locker rooms. Everyone would run Warren Sapp, who wasn't the nicest guy in the world to me, or would run to the star quarterback. I'm going to someone else that no one else is talking to because I'm going to get some real raw emotion. I'm going to get something no one else has. Then I'm going to go back to that other guy who had already spoken, had time to think, and now is going to give me something different and better. So how do you set yourself apart? So for us, we don't bring food. We don't bring drinks. We're not a caterer. Don't bring mimosas. I don't have a liquor license. What if someone gets in a car accident after? Highly unlikely, but still, why give yourself all that extra work?
Oh, is this basic shit real estate?
That's what a lot of people do. They have sheets. Please sign in. Sign in. You can't read anything, and they're probably going to give you bogus information, right? So for me, I automatically, I have a way where I can get their cell number right away. Where now
What's the way?
For me, it's, I say to them, listen, I want to be digital and green, and I want you to have all the pictures at your fingertips. I need your cell number. I'm going to send it over to you right now. I'm not going to spam text you. I will send them one more text message, though.
Do people that are shopping these houses, are they like, man, you guys are freaking wolves, man. Leave me alone.
A lot of them are, because a lot of realtors are. And that's why we created what we created, because people don't want to be sold, Brad. You can't push people. Plus, how about the people who are just cold calling, right? Hey, the house down the street just sold for $700,000. Do you maybe want to sell your home? Like, they've been sitting all day praying to God, please, will a realtor call me and ask me, do I want to sell my home? No, but if you provide value and start building a relationship, invite someone to an upcoming educational event that I might have. I want to put you on a VIP list. Is this something you might be interested in? I don't have an event set up, but I'm going to start calling 100 people. I'm going to see, can I put an event together? Can I get 20 people in a room? But I don't have money to pay for it because I'm a broke realtor. That is why I have title. That is why I have lending. Together, all three of us can pay our fair share. RESPA, we got to make sure we don't violate any RESPA laws there. But so that's just step one. And a lot of realtors think, oh, open houses don't work for me. Nah, I don't want to do open houses. Why? Because they don't know what they don't know. And that's why I created the Gold Rush. I was in Cancun with a guest that you just had on your show. Everyone's having fun and partying, and I'm sitting in the cabana on my laptop, which I still have, my 2015 Mac. I got to get a new one. And I wrote the Gold Rush. And I wrote it because realtors would always come to me and they'd say, Lee, can you help me? Lee, can you show me this? I'd have to regurgitate stuff, right? And then they would leave and I would never see anything of it ever again. But I wanted to help them. How can I do it more? And that's why we put this program together. And open houses is just one thing. What about FSBOs? For sale by owner. They're halfway on the market, people. If you're not time blocking to say, okay, on Tuesday and Thursday from, pick a time.
2 to 4.
2 to 4. You're going to call and you're going to try in each of those hours to get at least 5 people on the phone, because really a conversation shouldn't be more than 10 minutes. So that's 50 minutes. That leaves 10 more minutes for hangups. Okay. So you're going to want 10 calls, connections in those 2 hours. And your goal that you put on paper that you look at every single day, 2 appointments. Get 2 face-to-face. You're not calling the FSBO and saying, hey, do you want to list your home? Because every other realtor, the best line, Brad, is this.
It's already listed just by the owner.
Exactly. The best line is this. You're the 50th damn realtor to call me today. My response? All right, cool. What do I win? What's my prize? And you're like, what? Well, it's like a radio station. I'm the 50th caller. I should get something. And now I just broke them down, right? Psychology, linguistics. And now I can say, listen, man, let me tell you why they're all calling you. Right? They're all calling because you just hit the market partially. You're only halfway on. Now, I don't want your listing, man. But what I do want to do is help you find a buyer. I want to come and get some social media content, push it out to my audience of realtors in our feeder markets in the Northeast or in Chicago area, Midwest. But I also want to come and see, maybe I could do an open house for you. The pictures you have aren't the greatest. How about I send on my photographer at my expense? Let me go take those pictures for you. I'll use them for my marketing for the open house, my social. You could use it for your Zillow listing. And that's all I want from you. Now, when he's ready to list the home because he can't do it on his own, who's he going to call?
Yeah, see, that's good tangible
shit he's gonna call
right
me.
there.
That's what the Gold Rush is. That's why you helped me put together a Lightspeed, dude. We're changing agents' lives, man. And that's what we set to do.
Well, nowadays, it's like even more crucial.
We have to go back to the basics. I got in this business in 2010 when it was awful. Everyone's running out of the building and I'm running in. I drove a freaking yellow taxi, dude. Not a Lyft, not an Uber. I was divorced, recently divorced in 2012. I got my real estate license in 2010. Divorced in 2012. Expensive Jewish ex-wife. Yeah, she's great. Daughter in private school in my divorce decree. Had no choice but to do that till she graduated, which she's about to graduate. So I was in survival mode. What do I do? Now, I was already kind of an undercover realtor. I don't really want too many people to know. I wasn't going to my family and friends. I was building it outside, and my family and friends would eventually come to me, who, by the way, I don't work with unless I'm giving full commission back to them, which I know most of you won't do. So go give it to a veteran realtor or another realtor in your office. Go get a referral fee, and that way you don't have to deal with that, right? So I built it on the outside, but I needed more money. So I needed to make $1,000 a month. So I drove a yellow taxi in Orlando, but I only did airport runs in Disney. I was a Disney expert, so I thought that maybe people would like that. I never made more than $10 an hour, man. And I said, this is BS. I need to go and spend this time figuring out real estate, literally rolling my sleeves up and working harder than everyone else. In 2014, I had a breakout year, 14 million, and it's just been going from there. Right now, we have a team just shy under 100 million, running the number one Coldwell Banker team for half of Florida. And just spreading the knowledge, because, man, I wasted probably a couple of $100,000 early in my career that I could have put into something like this, right? Into more education. I wish I had a program that could help me in real life real estate. Because the thing is we're more of a sales and marketing coaching for realtors, but using Jedi mind tricks in a way, right? Using different approaches, but being genuine in what we do. And if we come from a mentality of we're here to help people, even our customers. Like, I work with so many veterans. How's the market? Man, I got VA loans left and right now. VA loans are getting accepted right now. Sellers are doing work for our veterans. So there's a lot of veterans buying homes right now, but it's got to be the right price point. So
should people target veterans?
I'm sorry?
Should people be targeting veterans?
That's one of your spokes for sure. Absolutely.
What's another spoke?
So we got open houses, we got FSBOs, right? How about circle prospecting, right? Now, circle prospecting is pick an area that you want to sell in, that you want to be in. It's probably somewhere either you live in or maybe someone something that you know well, right? The problem that so many new realtors make is, what do you think most realtors want to go after?
Hey, you want to spend an hour a week with me helping you become a business badass? Well, check out my group in the link below.
Big ass houses.
Big ass houses. They want the Bradleys of the world. They want to sell you a home here in Southern Highlands or in the Ridges or something like that, right? Man, that's one of the biggest mistakes you can make. Sure, it's going to be good money, but there's no such thing as easy money in this business. This is not an easy business. This is a very, very tough business, but once you figure out how to do it, it can be easy, but it is stressful at the same time. So circle prospecting is to go find that neighborhood. Let's say right now a good average is 400,000 to 700,000. That's it's a great commission. Those people are going to say thank you for helping me. So go find that community. Let's say that community, Brad, has 1,000 homes. Now, you go to your title who can help you with some data, right? Also, there's some programs out there like a Mojo, et cetera, or if you're a brokerage might have these as well, where you can go find the data. Now, what I'm looking for out of those 1,000 homes, how many of those are homestead, which means the owner lives in them? How many are not, which means I have 2 targets in those homes. So those 2 targets are renters and the people that own them, the landlords. The landlords in the market of today, they should either be selling that home and cashing in, or they should be taking the equity since they've owned that home for probably 8 years and go do what?
Buy another one.
Go buy another one, right? So that could be 2 transactions on that end. And on the other end, I say I want homes that are 3+ years that have been purchased. Because no one in the last 3 years, for the most part, is probably going to sell unless they have to, or they have to move or downsize because of the rates, and they probably just, they're first getting comfortable, right? So out of those 1,000 homes, I know that after 3 years, let's just say there's 600, and let's say 200 of those are rentals, right? So that leaves 400 plus 400, now 800 targets on my list. I have their names, I have their phone numbers, I know their emails. So what do I do? So part of the gold rush, which not only, with Lightspeed, with what you guys do, we have great modules, great production, but we also have the file vault, right? So I have places where documents are stored, things from my brain that we put out, not scripts, because we're not a script driven coaching platform. We're more of a mindset and certain keywords to use. And so all that lives up there. And what I put up there is a 2 community farm, a 90-day plan of exactly what to do with the time blocks, with the goal sets that I talked about earlier. And whether that's phone calls, text, email, drip, door knocks, social media, or for what I like to do is, again, I'm event driven. So I like to either do community events, like there's one community I do Santa and I do Easter. Goldberg, the Jewish guy, does Santa and Easter, I sponsor, and everyone comes in. And then we're big on educational events. And so what I've learned is if you ask people, may I have your permission? Are you willing to come to an educational event that could really be beneficial for you? Can I put you on a VIP list and I'll circle back with you when we have it all locked in? Now, who's going to say no to that? Almost everyone has said yes to that. We just did it the other day, an exercise with a builder with their old reg cards. And I think our success rate was probably like 85% of people saying, yeah, I'd be interested in that. So now we're going to go put something together. We're going to do it virtual at first. We could also do it in person. That's the beauty of the internet now, right? And get that message across, because it only takes one, right? If you get one deal at $300,000, let's say $400,000 home, paying a 2.5% commission, it's 10 grand right there.
How long does it take normally for a deal to close?
30 days, 35 days.
Well, so what if there's realtors out there and they're hungry? That's why they're working part-time. How do they get back to going full-time?
So I say there's no such thing as a part-time realtor in the gold rush. You are always a full-time realtor. This is what you do. Now, you might have a side hustle to help pay the bills, or maybe there's some great perks that come with that job, or maybe it's a great way to meet people. Like I have a nurse. She's going to be a fan. She just came into the program in St. Augustine, Florida. She's going to be a fantastic realtor because, one, nurses are great, right? They're very personable. She has a lot of connections, but there are awesome doctor loans and nurse loans out there. And what we're going to do is we're going to put together events for her to go and get business. That's another thing what we do. We teach agents where to go and mine for business in their own life right now without being salesy. That's the key. Most realtors are like used car salesmen because they have no training, man. They have bad used car salesmen. Nothing wrong against used cars, but pre-owned salesmen. They have no training. They don't know how to speak to people, and they're too pushy. So when you're doing circle prospecting, you're time blocking and you're goal setting, and you're going after a specific region of homes and saying, how can I help you? How can I provide education? Because they might not be able to do something today. It doesn't mean tomorrow. It doesn't mean they don't know somebody today. But if you're not actively doing things every day, that's the other thing. Most realtors lie to themselves, Brad. They say they're working hard. They say that they're doing things, and they're not. Because if you don't have accountability, it's like anything. If you don't have accountability, how are you going to succeed? Who's going to tell you you're doing well or not?
Yeah. Well, your paycheck.
Your paycheck. Yeah, but then you'll say, well, you know what? I'll just go back to selling insurance for 3 weeks.
Market's bad.
Market's not bad, man. Listen, the market is what you make it. Market is what you make it. I've got 6 listings. 2 just went on. 4 more about to come on. Don't tell me the market's bad.
Is 6 listings a lot?
At one time to come on? I think so. Yeah. Yeah. All at one time. Yeah. September was a little soft, but it always is. August, September, people back into the swing of things, back in school, a little soft, but Q4, Q1. But here's another thing. Want to know another great spoke? This one, you're going to love this one. You can do this. The first thing, what is the first thing you do when you wake up?
What do I do?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, absolutely first thing.
First thing.
Brush my teeth.
Okay. And then you sit down somewhere at some point, right?
Yeah, I get up, brush my teeth, and then I basically go cold plunge. Then
really?
And then head to the gym.
Okay. When you cold plunge, are you on your phone ever?
Not cold plunging.
No. When you get out, maybe? Point is this, 10 minutes.
I don't touch the phone until I'm done with working out.
Really? At all?
No.
That's amazing. That's some great willpower. What time is that?
Usually 5:30, 6 a.m.
Okay. All right. So that's a good time. Okay. So the point of that was 10 minutes, man. If an agent can take 10 minutes and time block this and put this on their schedule.
Well, do what?
Reach out to 10 agents a day on Instagram. I mean, the power of Instagram, right? Reach out to 10 agents a day from your feeder markets, and you should know where your feeder markets are. Here in Las Vegas, we know our feeder markets are going to be in California. Inland Empire right now. Oh my God, Inland Empire is coming here. A lot of Southern California is coming here. So I'm going to go add 10 agents a day to my Instagram.
What for, though?
By the end of the year, I'll have 5,200 extra agents in there, and hopefully a chunk of those have followed me back.
But why would another agent send you business?
Great call, because they have people that are moving from their region to my region, and I want them to work with me because I'm going to offer them a 35% referral fee or a higher referral fee. And I know that if I can get to them first, I'm going to get that business. So I want to build that relationship. Real estate is all about relationships, whether with your customers or other realtors. It took me a while to figure that out. When I started Instagram, I'm like, why would I want to add realtors? Well, one, you can learn from other people, right? You got to let the ego out of the way. But secondly, you want to build that referral base. I want realtors all over Southern California to think that I'm the person to send them their business in Las Vegas. And I don't need your huge 7-figure deals. I want them.
How do they know people are moving?
Well, because they got to sell homes when they get listings. So where are you moving to? Oh, you want to sell your home? Oh, we're going to move to Las Vegas. Have you found most realtors should always be thinking for a referral fee on the other side? I mean, that's a whole nother stream of revenue. If it's a $10,000 commission and I could get you $3,500, you could do that one time a month. How much money did I just make you? Right? So for me, where I sell, Las Vegas, Orlando, Charlotte, North Carolina, those are 3 of the top 7 migration cities. Why am I in all cities? Orlando, 23 years I was there. Came as a sportscaster. That's where my daughter is. She's graduating this year, right? Have a huge team. Las Vegas, 6 years ago, hurricane put me out of business in Florida. I needed another market. Came out here. Charlotte, my old partner who got me into the business, moved out there and said, dude, you need to get up here and see what's going on. And then I fell in love and had a girlfriend, got a girlfriend who's now in Charlotte. So, but we see the people moving down from New York. That was another thing. I would have a lot of lookers in Orlando, and I'd say, well, where else are you considering? Charlotte. So I would say, well, do you have a realtor there already? Right. And either they did. If they didn't, I would try to get them with someone. But why miss out on that business if I could also sell in Charlotte as well? And so that was another reason, because that's the halfback state. Everyone's either coming from New York to Florida or New York to North Carolina or to Florida and go up to North Carolina. And so
you just go get licensed there?
Yeah, I'm licensed. Yeah. Yeah. North Carolina was super easy. Yeah. I didn't even have to take a test.
Wow.
Yeah. Here was a little bit difficult. Yeah. But yeah, I'm licensed in all 3 states. Been licensed here for 6 years, almost 7 years in Nevada.
Dude, I'm learning more about the real estate world on this episode than ever. I usually say no more realtors. I'm done interviewing realtors. But because of the market and a bunch of my people talking about freaking, dude, screwed and what do we do? And I'm like, oh, let me get old fucking Lee. Let me get old Lee Goldberg to drop some nuggets. Now, what would a average realtor make if they were to do your program?
I ask agents the question, do you want to make an extra 10 grand a month or at least 10 grand a month? Because with our program, by following the steps, you should be able to do that. We're seeing within the first 45 days on average, our agents all have minimal a contract, if not a listing under the belt. And that's a listing early in the first 90 days that's quite an accomplishment for a realtor.
If I just right now got my real estate license, I'd just start introducing myself and networking and talking to people. And I might be delusional, but I would just think I'm going to run into somebody that either has a house, has an interest in a house, wants to sell their house. Like, dude, I hear about it all the time. I'm just not a realtor.
Yeah, well, I'll do it one better for you. How about you just get your real estate license, don't practice, refer all of that business to me, and I'll pay you 35%, and I'll get you a nice little revenue stream coming for you.
Well, I mean, it's, like I said, I might be delusional, but, I hear about people all the time. We're going to get a house in, Tennessee. Oh, we're going to get a house here. Oh, we just bought a house there. Hey, yeah, we're getting ready to sell our house. But I don't have relationships with realtors to where I go, hey, so-and-so.
Well, I'm sitting right in front of you, so we should make that happen.
Well, from now on, I probably will, but I don't I didn't understand the market very well. I just think to myself, well, I'm sure you have a realtor. Realtors are everywhere.
They are.
Everybody's a realtor.
That's the problem, and we have seen a huge wave of them leaving. In Florida alone, in the stellar MLS, 8,000. We went from 26,000, 18,000, like that. We want more to leave because there's just not enough good ones. Right. Agents need to know the business. This is the biggest Think about it. This is the biggest purchase that most people ever make in their life. We need to know our knowledge. We have to help them. We have to make sure that they are not going to be in over their head. Once you start thinking about that commission, you're done. Once you put the money first, you're done. You got to think about the money, right? It is all about the money at the end of the day. We have to survive. We have to provide for our family. We have to want to grow, right? Financially as well. But at the same time, we need to take care of our customer. And if you do that, the money's going to come. But if you're not working hard, just like anything, think about it, a pizza place, right? Our friend, Brett Raymer, our mutual friend, Brett Raymer. That's how I know you. It's how I know Lightspeed. Love Brett, has an Italian restaurant, nice Jewish guy, opens an Italian restaurant. I love it. Now think about it. Could you open an Italian restaurant, Brad, for $3,000 out of your pocket with no marketing?
Not me.
Because that's what it takes to get your real estate license, under $3,000, and not so to open a pizza restaurant, it's going to cost over $100,000. You have to sign a 5-year lease, personal guarantee, buy all the stuff, work your tail off, and still market to get people to come in. In real estate, all you need to do is plug in, get on the conveyor belt, right? Let us show you how to do it. If you're either one of 3 people, someone who's thinking of maybe getting into real estate, you need the gold rush. If you're new to the real estate, you need the gold rush. If you're trying to get over the hump and trying to figure out how do I go from 3 million to 10 million a year, how do I become a producer, or how do I want to grow a team? That's 4. You need the gold rush, because we're going to teach you how to do that. Our program lays that foundation. The program and the modules and the file vault alone, that right there will change your career, the trajectory, and your life, no question, hands down. Then if you get into our weekly broadcasts that we have, which we'd love to have you on as a guest sometime, and if you get into our one-on-one coaching, then that's a whole nother story. And now we can really grow you. And it doesn't have to be in our 3 markets. I have realtors in Roswell, New Mexico.
Hey, when he says Gold Rush, folks, if you're listening, you're a realtor and you're like, dude, I'm into this. It's Gold Rush VT, like Victor Tango, like virtual training. It's a online web-based interactive training system that you basically log into. Him and his team pop up and basically teach all this shit with tests and shit. So we know you're learning.
Yeah.
But to me, I'm thinking, houses, regardless of their price, what's the loan process? Because if I'm in the real estate game, I want to know, and this is more of a question, because like if I just put myself as a realtor, like I want to know all the loan possibilities.
Yeah.
Because if someone approaches me and I just think, interest rates are about 5%, but if I know this bank or this program exists, I can get you better or even assume somebody. I don't know if you get commission when you do this, but like there's lots of people out there with 2% and 3% loans.
Yeah.
The problem is they're not going to want to go get another house and give up that interest rate, but a lot of them want to sell their house.
Yeah.
So can't you just like get some assumed loans?
Sometimes, and there are options. And you and I, we did not talk before this, correct? Just so the audience knows. So the fact that you brought that question up, because I feel like I'm a unique realtor in a way where I have multiple lenders and financial institutions that have me as a preferred realtor. Major banks, major institutions, credit unions.
Probably the TV show.
I'm sorry?
Because of the TV show.
You know what? I wish. I have gone in business because of the TV show, and but no, this is because I picked up the phone and I asked for business and I offered value. I offered to, how can I educate your people? How can I help them? How can, if I work with you, I could give your customers up to 20% back as long as it's disclosed on the closing statement of my commission. Some states you can't do that in, but most states you can. So who cares if I give up a little bit, 20% of my commission? It's because Bank of America let me have access to their person. If I'm just using that as a hypothetical situation. But I have multiple lenders, right? So I know that one bank has a great doctor's loan. I know that one bank has an awesome VA loan. I know that one bank has...
That's what I'd want to do right there.
You're a veteran?
No, but that's what I'd want to do is know all these loans.
You have to. I know it. Well, I don't want to know the loans inside and out. I want to know just enough to hand them over to my lending partner, because now I look great to my lending partner, who hopefully will now reciprocates to me at some point. But I do know that he's at least going to get him great value and get the job done. I know that another lender is going to have a $15,000 grant that could go towards closing costs or down payment. There are so many options. How about USDA loans, right? Maybe you want to go out towards Pahrump, or maybe you want to go out towards Gastonia outside of Charlotte. USDA right now, no money down.
USDA?
Right? Yeah. It's rural, for rural areas.
Isn't that like fucking beef?
That's what I thought too. Yeah, but apparently they have a loan product for rural areas where they're starting to develop.
Because they want you out there on a farm or something?
Yeah. Well, no, not necessarily. It's like old farmland that is now they're putting pay paradise, put up a parking lot. They're putting up, a bunch of row homes or something. But eventually, once that area gets built up, that USDA goes down. So it's a way of an incentive to get people to move out to start creating a whole nother area. So yes, as a realtor, not only do you need to know the loans, but you don't want to ever get into, well, what do you need to qualify or credit score? That's another thing. When I'm talking about semantics, Brad, a lot of agents say, well, have you done a pre-qualification? Well, first of all, you want a pre-approval versus a pre-qualification. But for me, I want none of those. I'm asking, have you done a mortgage questionnaire?
You know what I had somebody ask me? I was looking for a house and they said, send me a bank state or a proof of funds. Proof of funds.
Yeah. If you're paying cash, you have to.
What do you mean if you're paying cash?
Well, if you're going to be a cash buyer.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily cash buyer at all. I just saw a house on the market. I'm like, shit, let me go look at that.
And they just asked for a proof of funds?
No, so I called up. Well, it was a $6 million house.
Yeah.
So I said, well, let me go look at it.
Yeah.
And
for a $6 million house, you just want to know that you're not some Joe off the street, that you're a legitimate
that's really
buyer.
what they were doing. So what I said to the realtor is, a bank letter. What are you talking about? He's like, well, they just want to show that you have proof of funds. You just call your bank, do this. I said, I'm not doing that. I just want to look at the fucking house, man.
Yeah.
He goes, well, they won't let you look at the house unless you send this proof of funds. And I'm like, are you shitting me?
Yeah.
I just want to look at the house. If it's
Yeah.
He said, well, they won't do it, dude. And I said, tell them to Google me.
Yeah, that's what I say. Just tell me who your customer is and let me just take a look real quick.
But what I said was, Google me. And he said, dude, that ain't going to work. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, then I won't look at the house, but just tell them to Google me. If they don't want me to look at the house, then I won't look at the house, but I'm not doing all this bullshit.
Right.
Just tell them to Google me. And he called me back like in 15 minutes. He goes, dude, I can't believe that worked. So,
of course.
So sometimes when people Google you, but that's what he said. He said they just wanted to make sure you could buy the house.
Yeah.
Which I didn't buy the house, but it was falling apart, dude. And I'm like, $6 million fucking dollars. Like, this was back when prices were even more ridiculous. And in my mind, prices are still ridiculous. Prices are stupid, bro.
In Vegas, they're a little elevated.
Dude,
still.
they're stupid. They're stupid everywhere I look. Tennessee, I got a freaking place in Brentwood.
Tennessee,
it's
right,
like, come on, people. Yeah. These houses are not worth this much money. Shh.
Well, it's
fucking stupid.
It's worth what the market says.
You know why it's worth money, in my opinion? Because fucking BlackRock and other big ass investors are buying them to rent them out because they don't want us to own anything.
That's happening in North Las Vegas right now.
Which is why if I were a realtor, I'd be telling buyers, buy the fucking homes before you cannot buy a home.
That's right.
Because they're buying them up so they can rent you everything.
Yeah.
And with people with the big money, they're not afraid of stupid ass interest rates because they're not paying them.
That's right.
All they want is that cash flow.
That's it.
And they know if they own all the inventory, and you're not, house prices are so stupid high, then you're just going to rent.
Yep.
But as a realtor, I always put myself.
And rent's high too.
Huh?
And rent is high. Rent is soaring.
Yeah, but as a realtor, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, well, again, if I started the space right now, what would I do? Well, time management, I guarantee, is half these fuckers' problem.
Absolutely.
They're not working. They're bitching.
Wait, we can drop F-bombs? No, I know.
Hey, they can drop that bomb. But they're not working. They're out there making excuses. They're listening to the negative. They're not mentally right. Yeah. And if all realtors are paying attention, you get your mindset right, you get your skill set right, and you get your habits, which is your fucking time management. You get your habits right. Mindset, skill set, habits. Maybe your mindset's great and you're positive and you'll never give up. You're going to be the best realtor in the world and you're all positive and shit. but you know it's possible to run off passionately in the wrong direction. Yeah. So if you don't have any skills, you don't know what to do, you don't know who to talk to, you don't have the spokes, you're dead in the water as well. Or maybe you got the right shit to do, you're positive as fuck, but your habits suck. Your time management sucks. So I guarantee that's one of the problems. But as I put myself as the real estate professional, I would say I have to be different because everybody's a fucking realtor. Everybody.
You have to be
You're
different.
a realtor.
Yeah.
The only person in this world that isn't a realtor is probably me. But I can tell you, I would need to be different. So I'm thinking, okay, how do I be different? Well, I would like try and figure out, like you said, I didn't know people could kick back commission because I was told, unless you have a license, I can't give you no money.
No,
back.
You have to be licensed. You have to have your license.
How are you gonna kick back me money then?
You have to get your license.
Is that what you tell people? Go get your license.
No, you need to get your license.
Well, then how do you get 20% back to the seller?
Okay, I'm sorry. I meant you as a non-realtor. For them, as long as it's on the closing statement, it's a realtor rebate. And as long as it's allowed in that state by law, which most are, at least the three.
Okay, so like I'd be aware of this.
Yeah.
What's stopping me as a realtor from selling you a house and then I'm paying as a gift your moving expenses? I'm paying for a designer to come over and design your house.
So I had a moving truck with my face on it back in the day, and I would offer our free moving truck to people, and it worked.
Yeah, because dude, if I'm
great.
buying a house, and by the way, folks, use your fucking heads, okay? If someone's looking to buy a house, obviously they're going to buy a house. The question is, are they going to buy it from you?
Yeah.
So if I got 15 realtors and this one's offering, hey, number one, they know their shit, they know the programs, they're freaking professional, they follow up. Because I don't know if that's changed, but dude, when I was dealing with this shit, I couldn't get anybody to fucking call me back. It was the most stupidest shit I've ever seen. I'm like, how are these people selling homes? They don't call you back.
Part of my program, what I say is you have to show up, right, to do this job. And then the next thing is follow up. And then once you follow up, then you level up. It's show up, follow up, level up. And that is, you hit the nail on the head, man. People are not following up, or they think even one time is a follow up.
But even in a climate like this, because when I was looking, everybody was buying. So I just assumed, see, they don't care because they got so many freaking customers calling that they don't care. But now you don't have as many customers calling. Now are they going to follow up?
During that time, I was over 30 million. The best years I've ever had, doing awesome. I followed up on every single lead, every single agent, every single person. So if I left a
message on your phone, because they were all messages.
If you left messages, my voicemail would say, do not leave me a voicemail because Apple takes 3 days for the memo to come in. Please send me a text message. That's what my voice memo says. I can't fix it. Apple can't figure it out. It literally takes 3 days for a voice memo to come in. I got brand new phones. We don't know. I think it's an Apple ID thing. Nonetheless, I say text me. If you text me, there's a text message back literally within seconds.
Well, I'd look at something, I'd call the number they provided, and it'd be a damn answering machine.
I'll always say text on my advertising or anything.
And I'd say, yeah, I'm looking at this address. I'm interested. And nobody calls back.
Yeah, no. Well, we do. Gold Rush agents do. Lee Goldberg does. And you're right, most don't because they suck. Yeah, they suck at what they do.
But if you're sucking right now, that might be why.
Yeah.
Call people back. And then when you call back, I would say differentiate yourself somehow, some way. I would get a network of people that are naturally needed when one moves, and I'll take it out of my commission. Why? Well, because, dude, if you're moving and you're going to buy a house from me, Joe Blow, whoever, I'm going to negotiate for you the best. Number one. Number two, dude, I'm going to have my moving truck move you. I'm going to have my high-end designer that designs buildings for, this and that. I'm going to have her go in there and just fucking make your home look like a model home, all for free.
Yeah. Or you could just even tailor it down. Just say, hey, listen, I'm going to rent you a U-Haul truck for the day. $100. It's not a lot,
but that's legal.
Of course it's legal.
Are people doing that?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if you're listening, but you got to differentiate yourself.
I mean, listen, there are, you can give free Ring doorbells. I mean, there are all these things that you could do. You know, a lot of people make the mistake of, well, let me bring them a bottle of wine. Well, what if they don't drink? Now you offended them. Like, I don't drink. It wouldn't offend me, but I don't want a bottle of wine. It does nothing for me. But if somebody said, hey, Lee, I want to help you out with a moving truck, I'd be like, really? All right, that's pretty cool. Hey, how many sales have you had this year? Can you send me some testimonials? Oh, yeah, music to my ears. Let's go. That's another thing. Do you have testimonials, right? Are they on your website? Do you have a website, right? Are they on your Google page?
Okay, so we've given enough to the realtors that are listening. Now let's give some to the customers that are listening. People out there looking to buy or sell homes. Give them 3 things to make sure that they, like, realtors will hate you for saying it.
Well, I would say number 1 is just you got to go find that education. So you need to ask yourself, and that also takes meeting with a financial person, meaning a lender, right? You need to determine your buying power. I mentioned the words mortgage questionnaire earlier.
How does one go find their buying power?
So this is where, as a realtor, where I said you should be teaming up with some lenders, right? So you have partners. So you should always have someone that you could refer out to. But what I say to people say, who do you bank with, right? And I'll know right away, is that going to be in our favor or is that not going to be in our favor?
I bank with Chase, B of A.
Yeah, so I would say great. B of A is perfect because I'm one of their preferred realtors at BOA, and they have some incredible programs. And especially if you're going to be a jumbo loan, they might have some really good programs for you. So what I can do is,
are there good programs for jumbos?
There are.
Why jumbos? Why jumbos?
Just because they want that money. You know, they want those big loans. One, I'm getting them with the lender. I'm trying to figure out. Okay,
I thought when interest rates go up, they don't want to give you any money.
Yeah, let's talk to a lender about that. I just know that lenders are knocking down my doors right now, saying, "Hey, we could beat anyone's jumbo loans right now. Send us your jumbo loans." So same thing with doctor loans. They're giving doctor loans for no money down. You know, no money down, and they'll give you a doctor's loan with their preferred rate.
If you're a doctor,
even if you're coming out of school,
doctor?
Any doctor, dentist,
chiropractor.
Probably.
That's a doctor fool.
Yeah, I think so. You know,
I used to make fun of chiropractors, saying they ain't really chiropractors
until they worked on you.
I mean, they're not really doctors. No, I don't go to chiropractors, but I found out because we do a lot of chiropractic training through schools and we got big reach into the chiropractic field, and so I met a lot of them, and it turns out a chiropractor has the same training as a medical doctor, except for prescriptions, meaning they both learn the same shit, and then the doctor continues to learn about medicine and prescriptions and how they affect you. And I don't like medicine.
No.
So in reality, when you meet a chiropractor and you think, oh, you're not a real doctor, dude, that chiropractor knows as much as a real doctor knows because they learn the same shit. They just didn't have to go through all the prescription bullshit. And if you're like me, you're not interested in that shit anyway. So you break your arm, go to a fucking medical doctor. But if you're just, sick, you're just not feeling right. Dude, I'm telling you right now, chiropractors are fucking doctors.
Most of them are what do they call it?
They're homos?
No.
Pathic?
That's it. That's a homopathic? Right? Homopiathic? Yeah. All natural.
They because they can't prescribe.
Yeah. And all the natural's probably better for you anyways, you know?
Dude, it is. No. I'm telling you guys right now, this might suppress this episode, but trust me, man, the medicines are the problem.
Yeah,
one of the problems. Here's your 2 problems right now. Sugar.
Yeah, I drink too much sugar.
Sugar is a problem.
I know. I got to cut it out.
And then the medicine.
Yeah.
They want you on their medicine. And the most powerful people on this planet right now, when everyone talks about the global elite, guys, I promise you, it's the pharmaceutical companies.
Yep.
That's who's running shit.
Yep.
They want masses of people somewhat sick. They don't want you dead because you can't pay anything when you're dead. They want you a little bit sick. So when you get a runny nose, here, take this. You get a fucking sore throat, here, take this. Well, it solves your sore throat, but I guarantee you, and it's just my hunch, it causes something else. And now you need that. And then that causes something else. And then you need this. So you just think you get sick, people get sick, this happens, that happens. Does it?
Yeah,
or are we doing it to them?
Yeah,
and the
think
food
so.
and the drugs.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I have a new respect for chiropractors. But anyway.
Yeah, I'd say good. You got to find out what your buying power is right away. That's number one.
Find out your buying power.
Number two is what is your situation, right? Everyone's different. Are you renting? Are you needing to downsize? Do you need to upsize? What are your needs and your wants? And what is your why, right? And that's going to determine, does this make sense for you, okay? Because let's say you're paying rent right now at $2,200, right? But the home that you want to buy is now going to cost you $3,200. Well, if you don't have that $1,000, or if that's all you have, that's probably not the right move for you. Yeah. So then it becomes, okay, well, what is our plan? And does that mean we have to wait, or do we find something lesser? And what I would tell people is go find whatever you can buy that is lesser for a payment that you could afford. Because once those rates go down, right, then you're going to refi, go put a renter in there. Now you've got what? Cash flow. You got cash flow coming in, and then you could take the equity that you've made over those 3 and 4 years and now go put that down with a low interest rate on the home that you really wanted to buy. And then hopefully you could buy that one maybe at a discount as well.
Or I'd say freaking start making more money, fool.
That too. Work harder. That's what I'm doing.
It's not necessarily working harder, dude. It's working smarter.
Got to work smarter. No question.
I tell people all the time, dude, if you ain't making $300,000 or $400,000 a year, at least, then hit me in the DMs. Go to my website. Come see me. Why? Because I'm going to teach you how to sell something, and then I'm going to give you something to sell. Not real estate, but something. Because, dude, everybody I know that's making real money is selling something.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody making killer money that isn't selling something.
You know, when I was a TV sportscaster, I became friends with a lot of really awesome dudes.
And by the way, sportscasters that make the big money, they're selling something.
Yeah, I was topped out at 93, dude, in Orlando. And if I was up for a job in DC, that would have paid me about 200. And really, that's not a difference in life. And to leave and go to DC.
LeBron James, does he get paid for playing basketball?
He gets, well, that's part of his.
No, he gets paid to sell tickets.
Yeah,
he gets paid to sell popcorn, beer, jerseys. Dude, I'm telling you, everybody's selling something.
I was noticing that the guys that I was friends with, they were all wealthy guys, and I said why, and you're absolutely right. They were all selling something.
Yeah, so you got to sell something.
You have to.
So if you're
sell
listening,
something.
You're like, dude, I ain't making $300,000. What the fuck? You got to sell something. Houses. I know lots of people still making money in this market.
Absolutely.
Again, I said I know people that aren't, but I also know people that are. Mortgage lenders, I know mortgage lenders that are like freaking, believe it or not, doing well right now. So it's all excuses. It's all bullshit. It boils down to mindset, skill set, habits. If you guys are out there struggling, Gold Rush VT, the Gold Rush VT, my man Lee Goldberg. Just go hit him up. If you're looking to buy or sell your house, hit me up. And then I'll hit him up, and I'll be the middleman.
Want your license?
Huh?
Want your license?
Yeah, I need a license. Okay.
I'll pay for your license.
Or now, how do I work it out to where I give you a referral? You don't owe me anything, but come Christmas.
Nope.
How does it work then?
No, man, it doesn't. There are people that do that.
You can't even gift me.
I can give you a gift not a gift that's based off of a percentage or too large. Happens? Well, you could go to jail.
Jail?
Yeah, it's a felony. Yeah.
Jail?
If you're I don't know anyone that's gone to jail, but there's a massive fine in jail. It's a felony if you are practicing real estate without a license, or if you're a realtor and you pay someone, you'll lose your license.
No,
and
I'm
you
not
should.
practicing real estate without a license. Listen, my brother calls me, he says, Brad, we're getting ready to move to Tallahassee and blah, 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 blah. I know some dude in Tallahassee. I call him up. Hey, here's my brother.
I could take you to dinner, dude.
But that's all you can do?
Probably. Yeah, I wouldn't do more. Just because
Well, I wouldn't either if you go to jail. I thought you're just not allowed to.
I mean, there's a fine. There's everything. I mean, they don't play around.
But that person now couldn't, let's say, for example, get me 4 tickets to the Super Bowl?
Probably not. That would probably be frowned upon and investigated. I mean, I guess it could happen under the table.
How do these guys know? Who's the investigative authority?
I don't know. They probably would never find. I don't know. That's not something I would never do.
Lee won't advise you, but I'd tell you, figure something out, son, because money makes the world go round. Grease makes the world go round.
It's so easy to get your license. Just get your license, and I could cut you nice, really good checks. Direct deposit, too, if you want.
That's probably the better way to do it. And if you already have your license and you want to be a feeder agent or receive, get a hold of this dude. Dude, appreciate you coming in. I know the market's going to turn around. Everybody out there, listen, here's my advice. Either get really good at what you're doing or and by the way, it is possible to quit. People are like, what do you mean? Dude, if I were in the real estate game and I was making excuses and I was listening to the negativity and I wasn't making any money, I'll sell something else. It doesn't have to be houses.
Yeah.
But if you're like, fuck, I love the real estate game, well, then you better get to work. You better start time management. You better start getting educated. You better start networking. You better start doing the shit he touched on, or quit. Because what are you doing otherwise?
I've asked a few realtors to leave the business. I said, look, your passion's not there. You're not willing to chop wood and put in the work like we are. If I'm a guy who's a 15-year veteran and Jared, who's my coaching partner at 18 years, right? If we're out there road warriors every day, chopping wood, making it happen, if you're not doing the same exact thing or even half, how can you expect to have any success? So maybe this is not the right world for you. And go find that passion. And they usually thank me. They usually do, because they found something that they like doing.
There you go, folks. We tell it true here on The Bombs. All right, man. Appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
As
Thank
always, till next time, keep it real.
Well, I'll tell you. First, you make an introduction. Introduce yourself so they know who you are. They got to know who you are, correct? And then you bring value. You bring value. You know what value is, folks? What's value? Well, it depends, doesn't it? So people say, well, Brad, what value can I bring to you?